you get the people to stand for having a king, a monarch, king or queen. How you organize that power structure, source your aristocracy, where you put your experts and advisors, how you structure all of that. If you're going to have an upstairs and a downstairs, obviously you want to have a good Downton Abbey owner who cares about people. So they have to be well-bred, good education, good sense of moral, ethical values, So, yeah, we don't have like a machine that churns out people like that. We have an educational system that churns out what we are, which is neoliberal progressive types who have hope that, the next thing is going to solve all our problems. And we don't have a very good grasp on reality, which is why we just can't seem to really think past our programmed thoughts, the thoughts that are engineered and programmed into us through our nature, nurture, education, and all of that, the propaganda machines, the media. We don't notice it. It's a black box. Where does our thinking come from? Most of us don't know, because we don't reflect on our thinking that much. We don't get meta about ourselves. And so, how are you going to convince people that this new thing is really for their own good and get them to stand for it, It's hard enough to reprogram a person coming out of a really nasty culty cult, like Jamie Wheels says. How do you deprogram people in this world who aren't even curious? They don't even want to know that there's other perspectives on things. They think it's a joke, If there's a counter narrative to the mainstream Guardian media or New York Times or whatever, they just can't understand it, because their world doesn't support digging for facts and trying to understand things from above, outside of, established mainstream institutionalized narratives that feed the man, make money. So you have to capture people's imagination to get them to stand for something new, because they have to be able to imagine it and think about it, understand it. But to get them to understand that, you have to deprogram them from what they already have, or somehow you have to make them understand that they can hold two thoughts in their head at the same time. They can deal with dichotomy. They can deal with counterfactuals. They can deal with inventing and creating new stories and so on. You have to give them that power, that sovereignty, that agency, so that they can understand how the bigger picture might be organized and structured in such a way that they would feel more secure and that they would feel more comfortable and healthy in their world. So you have the zeitgeist from the old Richard Dawkins coming through the mind of Peter Josephs and people like that, who are really into the Star Trek thing. Human beings are not going to be like they've been forever and ever. They're going to live in a community that's going to be very enlightened, right? And they'll be able to sort things out, like a Game B Dunbar number village kind of thing, a DAO. But at scale, it's hard to manage things that way, obviously. And the Star Trek thing probably won't happen unless there is some kind of transhumanism that completely destroys the human species and creates something new. Could happen, who knows? What are the Bayesian probabilities for that? I can't do the math. But I don't think that's going to happen. So we're going to have to deal with our human nature, get a handle on that. And yeah, our understanding of human nature changes as we learn about neuroscience and we learn about psychology and brain chemistry and the vagus nerve and the effect of gut bacteria on the brain and thinking and all that shit. I got a good night's sleep. I did some exercise. I ate some good food. I feel like a genius. I feel 10 years younger. But it's got to be more than that. I've got to live to be 140. Otherwise, forget it. I'm just getting to know myself. I hardly even know myself. I've got to live another 50, 60, 70, 100 years. Because I'm so damn interesting. I just want to know myself better. But anyway, you're going to have to find that king, the person that was kind of bred to be that way, that kind of leader. Of course it's me. Moi. I'm the one. The only one who can fix it. But it's not going to be me, bro. Sorry to disappoint you. But we're going to have to find that, and we're going to have to find the breeding of the aristocracy. And who are those people? For some people, it might be Peter Thiel. And it might be, Eric Weinstein. But I don't think so. I don't think those people have it. And you can knock compassion in a Nietzschean kind of way, but you have to understand compassion is part of the whole package, as well as empathy and emotions that goes along with the man of action and all that kind of thing. So there's different kinds of people, even though boys who were assigned male at birth, there may be 0.000 something percentage of people who actually are not what they were assigned at birth. But we won't go there because that's too complicated for me. Biology, so complex. But the bottom line is we have to get people to stand for something rather than against something. And that's hard to do. Culture building is difficult, not easy. And it takes time. It might take generations. Because the genies are out of the bottle, people. You can't stuff them back in. It's hard to get people to forget things they already know without doing something really bad. Climate change could solve it because, if enough people die, you could have just a whole lot of memory wiped out. But then some priesthood would find the hard drives and figure out a way to look at them on a computer, and then they'd remember all the nonsense again, and the genies would be out of the bottle. It's like trying to close the gates of hell in Stranger Things series on Netflix. You close it, and then some other jerk somewhere else opens it up again because they want that power. So if people are gonna revolt against the man, as they do, because they don't want to stand for it. And other people are going to say, if you just knew how to behave, everything would be good. At scale, that's really hard to do. And it's hard to understand how you compete with China if the kingdom of the United States of New Miracles is there. How do you get, you have the King Xi and King DeSantis get together and talk about what they're going to do. But it's romantic and it's fun and interesting to think about. And people want something. That's why this is interesting. But I don't agree that Bronze Age pervert is a great guy because he landed on a niche market that's making him money. He may be entertaining, but that doesn't mean he's anything more than whatever. He might be smart. I haven't looked into him. I read that thing, Bronze Age. What was it? Cookbook? No, I forgot. But I did read that. I'm like, okay, whatever. Different people have different ideas about what manliness is. So, of course, if I were king, I could sort that out. But could I get you to stand for me? I don't know about that. William T. out.